Hello everyone, welcome back to Comfy Health Fit. If this is your first time, welcome. If you're rejoining, thank you for watching again. So Comfy Health Fit, for those who don't know, is a channel that empowers women through education. So it's meant to educate and empower women to create hormonal balance, to understand our bodies. We use more of natural holistic methods to understand how our body works to create a hormonal balance. We use weight loss as a tool to help women to lose weight and hence balance. We also specialize in uterine fibroids. My name is Sandra, Bilson, Afrifah, your coach, and I will be delighted to walk you through this journey, okay? So today our topic is about syncing our menstrual cycle and with nutrition to help aid us in weight loss. So we had another video that really focused more on, and if you've not watched it, you can watch it, that focused more on exercising. This video is more focused on nutrition, the dreaded nutrition, okay? So I do know that nutrition can be one of the hardest, at least it has been the hardest for me, but it's also one of the most important things with our whole health and well-being, okay? So before you go with this video, I want you to go with number one, a positive mindset, okay? So instead of saying in your mind, oh my God, like, I've eaten this way for the rest of my life, I can never get a hormonal balance, I want you to think of it as, how can I make this happen, okay? Obviously, a lot of people are able to, including myself, are able to eat healthy and create a hormonal balance. So you can do it too. So the question is, how can I make this happen? Okay, let's think positive through this. Okay, so now let's go to our talk today. So remember, we talked about the 4 phases of our menstrual period, right? We have the menstrual phase, we have the follicular, we have ovulatory phase or ovulation phase, and then we have the luteal phase, okay? We talked about the different types of hormones, estrogen, progesterone, FSH, and FSH, follicle stimulating hormone, and luteinizing hormone, which is LH. So I won't go in detail with those hormones again, but just remember that during our menstrual phase, estrogen is low and our energy is low. This is where we are bleeding. This is days 1 through 5, days 1 through 7, okay? Can be different for everyone. But during this phase, because we are losing a lot of blood, we do want to focus on replenishing iron stores, okay? So you want to eat foods that are rich in iron. Focus more on whole plant-based foods, your leafy green vegetables, legumes, right? All these are great. Focus on warm foods. In Chinese medicine, there's this thought process that our uterus is cold around this time, and you want to eat more warm foods. You know, wild rice is good, a very good thing. And then because of the contraction of the uterus during this time, you want to focus on magnesium. Magnesium helps great with cramps, okay? So you want to use magnesium-rich foods, also green leafy vegetables, your nuts, your seeds. You can use teas such as peppermint tea, ginger tea, chai tea. These are all rich in magnesium and basically help you replenish your magnesium stores, okay, or help with the cramps, okay? But I also want you to realize that cramps should not be a normal part of your period. So if you're having cramps, I do highly recommend you follow up with your primary care. This is where the integrative medicine piece comes in, or integrative health comes in combining Western medicine, you know, with more of a holistic medicine. So if you do have cramps during this time, you want to make sure you're ruling out uterine fibroids, cysts, endometriosis, and other things that can cause the cramps, right? And then that's where the comprehensive approach comes in, depending on how to approach it, whether holistic or, you go with Western medicine or a combination of both. But I would highly recommend that if you do have cramps, it is not a normal part of period. Most people think it is. It does show that you're in a hormonal imbalance and you should seek, help with your primary care provider. Okay, now we're gonna go to our the next phase, which is our follicular phase. Remember, in the follicular phase, estrogen levels are very high during this phase, right? So this is not the time to eat high calorie meals. I forgot to mention, in the menstrual phase, you want to eat more calorie dense foods, right? But with the follicular phase, you want to eat lighter meals. Your gut bacteria is very, very important. So foods that support the gut bacteria, because estrogen levels are really high now, we have that high energy, right? But fermented foods, actually, like kimchi, kefir, all of these help support the metabolism of estrogen. So you really want to improve that gut bacteria. Hydration is always very important. And then you want to eat foods that are very high in antioxidants and fiber. Okay, so you have your chia seeds, you have pumpkin seeds, you have flax seeds. All these are very good. Your citrus fruits are also good within this time. Always remember fruit juices, because you don't want to take fruit juices. Even if you squeeze the juice out of the fruit itself, you actually want to eat the whole fruit. If you're eating an apple, if you're eating an orange, because that skin on there is what has the fiber, and fiber helps so much to help stabilize your insulin levels and all of that. That's a whole other topic for another day. But you also want to make sure that you're eating your green leafy vegetables during these times. You have broccoli, you have your spinach. This is also a beautiful time to eat that, okay? Now let's go to your ovulatory phase, okay? This is a very short period. So within this phase, remember, estrogen is also very, very high. So you want to eat foods that are supporting estrogen levels, okay? So it's very, very important to still eat lighter foods. You're not going to eat more calorie dense foods during this time. You want to still focus on your antioxidants. Other examples are raspberries. All your berries are really good. So berries are great. They have something called a low glycemic index, meaning they tend not to spike your blood sugar up. So raspberries, strawberries, blueberries, cherries, all these are very, very good during this time, okay? You still want to focus, you do want to focus on protein, okay? So protein, good sources of protein. So you're going to do more of your lean protein. You're not, when you have uterine fibroids, for example, because I specialize with uterine fibroids, you want to eliminate red meat as much as possible. There's a lot of research that shows red meat having in contribution to fibroids and fibroid growth. That's a topic for another day. If you do, just comment and I will gladly make one. I'll probably make a video in the future about it. But it's very important to limit red meat, focus more on your lean meats, lean protein. Plant-based proteins are great. So whole plant-based proteins are very good to help you during this time, okay? High energy, high estrogen, less lighter meals, okay? Less calorie dense foods. You want to enrich, you want to basically help with the metabolism of estrogen, okay? All right, so now we're going to go to the luteal phase. So this phase is very, very interesting. Remember, this is the phase where, estrogen kind of like lowers, stabilizes, but progesterone is very, very high. We call progesterone the hormone of pregnancy, okay? So this is the that 2-week wait. So if you're trying to get pregnant, this is usually that 2-week wait, that most people talk about. So in this phase, something very interesting happens. So your resting metabolic rate, so that's basically how your body burns or utilizes calories at rest, actually increases. So you actually burn an extra 300 to 500 calories. The reason is, like I said, the body is really preparing for another human being, right? So during this time, and that's how God made it, so during this time, you're going to tend to have more cravings for sugar and fat. Yes, this is a time where we call it the chocolate phase, right? Oh, I love chocolate. And this time is where I crave chocolate so much. But so it's not bad to have the cravings, but it is important to note what you need to eat during this time to fuel your body right. Okay, so this is the time that you need to focus more on your root vegetables. You want to focus like sweet potatoes. You want to do whole grains, quinoa. Those are good, healthy carbs. Your fats like avocado is very, very good. Okay, this is not the time to go eat fried chicken or eat a bunch of chocolate. Okay, you want to limit less of processed foods, but you want to eat more calorie dense foods during this time. Why? Because you are burning a little bit more, but you want to eat healthier calorie dense foods to fuel your body, right? Okay, so during this time is when people have something called PMS symptoms, premenstrual symptoms, sorry, and the intensity varies. Some people have very bad ones, and that's usually you need to see your primary care. That signifies a hormonal imbalance. So PMS, it's either too low estrogen or too low progesterone. Okay, so that's on a hormonal imbalance that needs to be resolved. Okay, but the cravings, it's not a bad thing. That's how your body works. But the intensity of the cravings also shows a hormonal imbalance. But the mild cravings is okay. Just don't indulge in more of the unhealthier fats and unhealthier sugars. Eat more of your fruits and vegetables, more from natural sources. I promise you, if you do that, you're going to feel much better, and this phase is going to be much better for you. Okay, so remember, this is also the phase of, you feel like it's right before your period, so you don't feel your best. However, with the right foods, you're going to be able to triumph this period. Okay, so remember, let's kind of like do a little breakdown of nutrition wise. We talked about the menstruation phase, iron rich foods. Then we talked about the follicular phase, high energy, so lighter meals. Then we talked about the ovulatory phase, so lighter meals. And then we talked about the luteal phase, more calorie dense foods. Okay, so think about also this luteal phase, because your body is burning more calories at rest. When you eat the right type of foods to fuel your body, right, you're gonna lose weight during this phase. But most people tend to gain weight during this phase because we feed more into the higher calorie foods, like the processed foods and the sugars and the high fat food. So if you're able to, which I know you're going to be able to, remember you said, how can we make this happen? So we can make this happen. Okay, it just takes time, but it's very important. The reason I'm doing this series, is just for women to understand the basics of your menstrual cycle and what your body is doing. Okay, you're having periods anyway, right? And if you're not having periods, that's not a good thing either. So no, not either, that's not a good thing. So you need to get evaluated. But you're having periods, so you need to understand the beauty of periods and using your periods to help with hormonal balance, to help with your overall health, and how to maximize it to the best of your ability. Okay, so the next video next week, we're gonna be talking about something so interesting. Oh my God, we're going to be talking about intermittent fasting. Okay, and intermittent fasting is such a beautiful way to lose weight, to help with hormonal balance, detoxification. I love intermittent fasting. You just have to understand it, and I'm going to share someone who really is so good at doing this. Hope you enjoyed this. So like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you next time. Stay healthy and stay positive. Bye.